talked about this Monday about Flight Mike and the conversation with Legend of Winning and stealing content. We touched on it just a little bit. We wanted to more so touch on just the situation at hand, cover the drama, yada, yada, yada. We never got into the whole conversation about stealing content. So first, Bezos, one, are you pro or anti-stealing content? And two, what is stealing content to you?
I'm definitely anti stealing content if you can prevent it. I understand, everyone has sources of inspiration, but I've had my content stolen before, and boy, did it piss me off. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not talking about someone just reposting it. And this is where we'll get into the conversation of like what stealing content is. It's not someone reposting my video. It's not someone stealing my thumbnail style. Someone literally took the script of my video, the whole concept of it, same title, same thumbnail, but like essentially did their own voiceover of it, added a couple words, did very, very similar editing, but not like exactly what I use in the video. And at that point, it's like, you just ripped my, didn't give me credit. So
did they do better than you?
No.
Oh, okay. And that's what you would consider stealing content?
Yeah.
Okay. Sage, I know you are anti, but what are you, and then what do you consider stealing content?
Oh, yeah, you got that parlay. That was the easiest one in the book. I think I even said it last time. I'm definitely anti-stealing content. What do I consider stealing content? Obviously, the world is massive. Someone might have done something before you. Someone probably has done something before you. And I understand that it doesn't need to be intentional. However, if your video, and you can get inspiration based on like, same thing as Souls. But if your thumbnail's the same, title is barely different. The only difference in the thumbnail is quite literally the human in it. And most importantly, kind of the mirror what Beast was saying. If I click your video and it sounds like specifically my video, it's one thing if we both think Goku is a misunderstood character and you, for some weird reason, you chose the same pose that TSL Sage chose. Now, if I click that video and you talk about you ain't got a hug since second grade or first grade because you want to be different, crashing out. Instant crash out.
Okay. Damo, pro anti-stealing content.
Very early in my YouTube journey, I was definitely anti-stealing content. Now, it's the business, man. We all got to eat. Pro stealing content. Pro stealing content. And what is stealing content to me? I mean, it's so many ways to steal content. Me just throwing my face and reacting to your video, to me, that's stealing content. If all I'm providing is my 2 cents that no one asked for, my 2 cents that doesn't even involve you and you don't know me at all, that's stealing content. I'm making content. I'm making money off of the work you put in on the edited video. That's stealing content. As you and Soul said, replicating videos and shit like that, that is also, in my opinion, stealing content. But I feel like we're going to go into if it is or isn't okay, so I'm not going to shoot the whole load here. I am pro stealing content, though.
Well, so and that's where I think that I sit too, because I think for my content creation career, most of the stuff that we've done or I've done solo has been for the purposes of people to react to and have opinions to, or we are tasked with reacting and having opinions to other people's stuff. And I have to side with, there is some sort of stealing content simply due to the fact that when we play certain clips, we got to scroll to the bottom because, this person is going to copyright claim us to, this, that, and third. But so I have to be pro stealing content. And I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing. I actually don't know if there's any situation in which I would even consider it a bad thing. Unless they are going around pretending as if their content is the original content. That's when I would probably be like, okay, this is definitely where this person is fucking wrong.
I guess
would you count real quick? Would you count like reaction videos as stealing content?
It has to be. It has to be. In any other form of content, because I'm taking it too much from a legal standpoint. In any other form of content, you could not do that. Like I couldn't react to a television show and put it on things as my content. You can edit it, pretty good. But if we're talking about like real reaction videos, we know they're not editing it crazy. If I react to movies or whatever, that's stealing content. So I would think that reaction videos are stealing content.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Because I just feel like if you were to tell me, would you rather someone react to your video or like remake your video the way I described it, I would genuinely be more pissed if like someone remade my video concept, did not give me credit, than just reacted to the video that I worked hard on. Like even though all they're doing technically is just turning on OBS, putting their face on the bottom right and adding their own reaction to it. Like at the very least, people are seeing the content that I made, so it'll trickle back to me. But the way some of these motherfuckers are stealing content so that it doesn't trickle back to the original creator and not giving credit at all, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna originally say, so I'm confused on how you wouldn't say someone matching again tone, title, tone, concept, and design, just so we don't keep listing crazy. If you're matching someone's tone, concept, and design in a video, how is that not even considered parading around it? Because unlike a reaction, and we could talk about that because I'm pretty sure we disagree on that as well, but that's just own separate conversation. But yeah, if you're matching someone's tone, concept, and design on a video, that on all accounts to me is parading like it's your video, because you have no intention of, as Soul's saying, sending traffic to somebody else, and you also don't have any intention of acting like you didn't make it. You didn't sit there, record it, edit it yourself, or anything like that. You literally had like at bare minimum, is that not plagiarism? Or like at bare minimum, that's plagiarism.
I mean, it's situational. It depends on the type of content you make. I feel like it's very. It's not proactive to look at this conversation in the lens of the type of content that we do, because there's all forms of content on YouTube. There's all types of lanes, avenues, and niches. If you make Catch a Predator videos, my nigga, I don't know how, unlike another nigga's Catch a Predator video you can make outside of how niggas are pulling WWE moves off on these niggas now. Like when it comes to certain niches, you're just gonna have to do what the next nigga did. Now, yes, in certain situations, as if is Goku, you brought up the anime topic. If you have a specific opinion about an anime character, you have a unique approach to addressing why you have that opinion, it is straight plagiarism if a nigga just literally yanks your whole opinion, Sage. Like a nigga sits there, takes the whole, he sits there in a do-rag, talks about how you ain't have no hugs since the second grade, and uses your shit word for word, bar for bar. Absolutely. But if a nigga just pops up and his background is looking like B-Souls, the title is the same title, and he has the same premise but approaching it from a different way, are you gonna say it's plagiarism?
I would say at the absolute best, you're pulling a Timu B Souls here, and I would just need at some point in time like an obvious like either homage, or you have to steer your shit. You have to steer your shit in a different direction. I probably would even say just straight up yes. I probably am trying to play devil's advocate to something I don't believe in. I don't think if B Souls right now thumbnail design was his room, sitting in his room, and someone else then went on to match the background of that exact room, like that's intentional to me. It's not something practical. You got inspiration. Like for example, we were talking about creators earlier. I'll tell you like exactly one that I did. Rage had the distorted thumbnail shit. He used to do that shit with Flight in them all the time. So I was like, fuck it. One time I'm gonna distort like Ja and shit. Now, I think distorting Ja, having a video where I'm talking about the Memphis Grizzlies being a team down, terrible, underrated team, because this is back when they weren't the best team. But yeah, if I'm talking about the Grizzlies underrated, you whoop whoop bang bang whatever, and that's the thumb. It's a distorted Ja. The concept definitely came from a different creator, but it's not on some shit like, all right, I'm like literally going to sit there. I'm going to have my chat in the top right. I'm going to turn my face cam off. I'm going to react to Flight versus, I don't fucking know, Soul. And I'm going to say the same exact shit with the ending screen, fade away and all that stuff. That's kind of objectively nasty to me. So I ain't with that.
So it just as a quick clarification. So when we looked at those thumbnails Monday about this TikTok gadget, and it was a laser keyboard. And the only differences between the people, it was the reaction face, the laser keyboard. One had a red laser keyboard, the other one had like an RGB rainbow laser keyboard, and then one had a white shirt, one had a black shirt. You would say that is plagiarism?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that's plagiarism. That's incorrect, but I definitely think that's just like you a clone. Like you a clone to me, because it's like, dog, you couldn't even. You couldn't even like get a different picture. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not hard to do minimal shit. It's like reaction content. When we get to that conversation, we can talk about how minimalistic that in itself is. To somehow go even like lazier and more minimal than that, to where you are just objectively doing the same exact thing, but you're like, okay, this is exactly this. So fuck it, red saturation is wild. Like I don't understand how that's not wild to niggas, but
well, no, it can be wild, but isn't that a common business practice?
It's not a morality thing, by the way, but I just don't understand how that's not crazy.
No, but I'm actually, isn't that a common business practice though? Isn't that what businesses do all the time?
But then we boo those corporations. But like,
no, we don't, niggas. I'm not saying, do we boo those corporations?
Yes, we do.
Can I get an example?
We had a conversation not even a month ago when Big Girl was talking about, yo, we need the shits like bigger planes, bigger roads, or all the other stuff. And we were talking about how, well, we can't turn into the people that are just gonna sit there and cape for Target and cape for Walmart and stuff like that. Y'all literally had that stance.
Well, I'm not saying I don't think there's a correlation between that and this.
Yeah, there is in the sense of are we mad at corporations for being a copycat industry? Yes. A lot of
again, that wasn't. I'm not saying that wasn't. All I'm saying is when Popeyes drops a chicken sandwich, and then everyone goes crazy for Popeyes chicken sandwich, and then KFC comes and says, "Fuck that, we got the KFC chicken sandwich." Niggas don't boo KFC. They just say, "Okay, I'm gonna get the chicken sandwich KFC too." Like they don't.
Niggas didn't boo Popeyes when they made their chicken sandwich. I think my thing is, even in the plagiarism conversation, if you, I don't know how many people put credits to their videos when they put videos like other sourced videos in their videos. That would be technically plagiarism. If you made any sort of art, any sort of creative works, a paper or whatever the case may be, and you put somebody else's work, their published work in your work, that would be considered plagiarism. So like if you reference so-and-so's video or the actual Dragon Ball Z video or whatever the case may be, and you're not in the description saying credit to this person, credit to this person, credit to this person, and not saying that you do, because I know some people that
I'm not even tripping off that.
People do that though, and to, power to them, but I'm not going to do that, and that would be considered plagiarism.
I don't believe so. It depends on how you do it, because the video could classify under fair use, where the whole video is transformative enough so that like you can use someone's fucking work copyrighted wise, but because you transformed it enough or added your own opinion on it, you can. That's why reaction videos are able to be monetized the way that they are.
Fair use monetization and plagiarism are different things. When if you use somebody else's stuff, you are supposed to give them credit, or it's regarded as plagiarism. Full stop. Even if there's fair use, like you can claim I fairly use this under the internet guidelines of either YouTube or whatever platform that says this is how you can fair use this, or the fair use statutes or whatever the case may be, that's fine. But if you use somebody else's work in your shit, it's plagiarism. Now, there's no legal action that says that so-and-so can do LMNOP, X, Y, and Z. But if you use somebody else's work, that's plagiarism.
I think, well, first of all, very briefly, I think food, side note, wasn't the real analogy there. I don't like the food analogy, because at the end of the day, like it's food items. So like someone's going to cook a fish stick, someone's going to cook a fish fillet, someone's going to cook a chicken sandwich. So I just don't like that. Someone's gonna think
Goku's overrated. Someone's gonna think Goku's underrated.
That's fine, but that's a little bit. That's a little bit north of 90 degrees. I think it's very, 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 very different to sit there. Like there's almost like a literal limitation on food. like almost objectively, there's only so many ways that you can cook chicken in a fast food manner.
How many ways can I talk about Luffy being my favorite anime main character?
There's a ton of ways, honestly, if you get in your bag. If you're getting your
bag, why he's your favorite
ways to present it, a bunch of different ways to talk about
there's different representations to do that. I think
can grill it, I can fry it, I can bake it.
Furthermore, how do you claim food? How do you claim food? Boom. How do you claim a burger?
Oh, technically, when you talk about processes, like Wendy's,
That's what I'm saying.
Wendy's has
It's a
claim on
little,
the
it's a
script.
little obtuse,
Wait, no, it's
but
not. Whoa, you don't have to run over that. Wendy's has claim on the square patty. Burger King has claim on the flame broiled process. When it comes, you can claim food, you can claim techniques. Yeah.
right. But they can't at the end of the day claim a burger.
I mean, okay, then you can't claim a thumbnail.
Like
I don't
you can't claim. All right. Anyway, so like y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all doing y'all. But then when we talking about when we talking about oh, you're talking about plagiarism in terms of literal definition. I think it's a matter of intent when it comes to like on the content stealing shit, because I'm not the best with the legalities of it. If technically speaking, everybody that does a reaction or everybody that has any form of somebody else's content in it, it needs to be 1,000,000% in the description, pinned comment, or even on the screen. I don't know what the most lawful answer is, gang. So I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. However, when we talk about stealing content, I think it's very, very much a disingenuous thing. If, for example, I like the way that Totally Not Mark, I'll go back to him in a second because I think he's a good YouTuber to bring up here. But if I like the way that Totally Not Mark edited something in the Goku Black arc for his review of it, so I screen record that, I post it in my video, and I don't in any way, shape, or form address that was 100% for the next 3, 5, 7 minutes, just his screen recording, that's kind of crazy to me. So,
but it's normal within YouTube if somebody is innovative enough to come up with an editing style and that becomes successful and it becomes meta, everyone just starts doing it. Niggas don't just start coining and saying, "Oh, this is." But would that be considered plagiarism to you?
I don't think that's plagiarism.
Then I would just ask, "Where's the line?"
I don't think having a style is plagiarism. I'm talking about literally you saw somebody do something and you 100% copied. I think what's happening in this conversation is my bar for stealing is higher than y'all are believing. Probably lower than I'm about to directly say still, but it's definitely higher than what y'all are believing. Because thus far, I'm literally saying if TSO Sage goes like this, and in your video you do, I don't know, this, that's different. However, if I see in your video you literally screen record me going like this, I'm gonna have a problem with you, because I'm like, yo, okay, for some odd reason you liked my video, I inspired it, that's fine, that's honestly flattering. But then you went as far as to just not even put any work in, you just screen recorded my shit, and now we're both literally and in no way, shape, or form dropping the same thing. It's just not, ain't it? That ain't it.
I just feel like my disconnect personally is I'm of the belief all of it's okay or none of it's okay. That's my thing. I'm branching a lot of things into one. So I would branch in you saying if you sat there and did this and then someone else, I'm not even saying screen recorded you doing this. They went in their video, threw a do-rag on a tank top and said,
and that's what I'm talking. Yeah,
that's plagiarism. That's plagiarism. Like, but then I would say, if that's plagiarism, then you know what else is plagiarism? A nigga screen recording you and posting you doing this. I will also think everyone else, even if a nigga decided to sit down in his chair, throw on a long sleeve shirt or hoodie and do this, that's also plagiarism. Then I would say, oh, it's still plagiarism because we know waving works. But now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna make my baby wave.
I think at some point it goes, but that again, intent matters to me. So like like you said, if you wave right now in your hoodie, glasses with a baby and made the baby wave, I don't have a tot, I don't have a hoodie on, I don't have glasses. Do I think you're copying me? Maybe. That's up to my ego at that point. But if you put on a t-shirt and a do-rag and do it, now I know you are stealing my shit. Like now I know for a fact your intent is, hey, what you did worked, I want your dollars, let's do it. That's why I'm like, hell no.
Let me ask Bezos then too, because then also there's a follow-up question for that. What is your bare minimum for plagiarism stealing? Like for you to call it plagiarism/stealing?
If someone's reacting to my shit and not adding anything, I think you're stealing content.
Oh, we can have that conversation too. Yeah.
Like if you're not adding anything, you're just, oh, that's crazy. No, you're stealing my content, buddy. I don't want to hear it. Also, if you're stealing my video concept and like my talking points and the flow of the video, I would consider that stealing. Like obviously, let's say Luca trade happens. If I make a trade, if I make a video on the Luca trade and Sage makes one, I'm not gonna then claim that Sage is stealing my content because he made the video after me. But if the format and the wording and the verbiage is exactly the same as mine, then I'm gonna say, yeah, hey, where did you get these talking points from? Because this sounds mad similar to what I said, like even the sequence of it and stuff like that. So that's probably my bar. And also just straight ripping shit. Like, I think you're stealing content if you're just straight ripping shit. Now, there's a follow-up question. I don't want to.
No. Go ahead. Keep going.
I was about to say, I think I personally am still anti-stealing, but I also don't like it when people kind of like blow it out of proportion, the effects that stealing content does for them. On some, oh my God, you guys are holding me back because you keep stealing my content. Like, especially with streamers, if anything, they kind of encourage motherfuckers stealing their content because it becomes clips, it becomes this reoccurring thing that drives traffic to them. So you can still be anti-stealing, but also be like, it ain't that big of a deal for you to trip about it.
So I think that's where I'm like, there's two. Yeah, I know, Damo. There's two things that I have in this is like, okay, so how long does one ignore the meta just to, I guess, feel good internally to say that they do or they did something well? Like in that same conversation about the laser keyboard TikTok thing. You can sit there and try to rack your brain around making this thing more creative or just different from what everybody else is doing. But if you know, especially if we're working together, like this would be my thing. Let's say we all had similar channel styles, right? Like let's say we all still did basketball content. Let's fuck it, we just did basketball content. Luka trade happens. The thumbnail that goes is 80 on the right and a Dallas jersey, Luka on the left, and a Lakers jersey, pretty similar background of like a audience or some shit like that. Let's just say that happens.
I guess I just don't care about thumbnail stealing, but go ahead.
But this is where, because I think Sage does care about thumbnail stealing.
I do to a degree. Yeah.
If it works for me and I get 500,000 views, it works for Bezos, he gets 700,000. It works for Damo, he gets 688. You would be the odd man out to say, you know what? And mind you, our CTR is high as fuck, 29.5 or some shit.
Word to God, yes. Because I've done that. Like put it this way. You have 80, let's say 80 on the left, Luke on the right, 80 has his hands in his pockets, Luca's doing this, and Bezos has a red arrow with the white stroke, pause if needed. But come on. Damo, same thing, but except his arrow's green. Your arrow,
everybody's is the same. Let's say the three of us just have different levels of saturation.
Like yeah, different levels of saturation. I, at bare minimum, and I probably wouldn't even, I'd probably do much more than that. The worst case scenario, I would change the pictures of both 80 and Luka, and I would either get rid of the arrow, change the arrow, or yeah, I would either get rid of the arrow or change what the arrow looks like if I had to do something. And that's the bare minimum. Reality is I would just change it. I would just come up with a different concept.
I'm gonna look at you and say, damn, you are just crazy uncreative, but keep doing you type
I'm
shit.
heavy on that.
Uncreative with me.
Like you can't find any different, like there's a bunch of, I understand for certain thumbnails there may be like one picture that everyone is using, but even then you can still come up with a bunch of different variations with the same picture.
I think it's one of those things that's like, okay, well you are just everybody else has figured out that walking up this hill is the most efficient way to go up this hill. And you are just so hell bent on saying like, nah, they're zigging, I'm about to zag. So I'm not trying
to, it's not about working against yourself. It's about essentially trying to do anything like you didn't want to do anything different. Like I don't think it's full blown lazy necessarily because you know the meta, the content, the views. But I think at some point, if I see 3 different YouTubers all have the exact same shit, again, bare minimum, I can't change the picture of what Anthony Davis has. Like it could even be the exact same layout. Like hypothetically, layer 1, Davis, layer 2, Arrow, layer 3, Luka, layer 4, Luka got traded. like, damn, you can't find a different picture of Luca, a different picture of AD. You can keep the arrow and you can keep the text, but you like that, I'm just talking bare minimum changes to not look like a carbon copy clone of certain shit. I just I don't know. Me personally, if that is being difficult, then I'm difficult.
Even if that meant, again, everybody else is north of 500,000 views, you can't crack 100,000. And this has been 2-3 years of you doing this same thing. We're all in a group, we're all in a collective still, and we're saying, yo, like, if you want to be individualistic, there's a different way. But like the thumbnail title, I promise you, this is gonna bring your CTR to 25.5. You would still just be like, nah, fuck it.
I would venture more things I could mimic, but I would never just carbon copy y'all thumbnails.
Yeah.
I respect it.
You can still change it and like not get a significantly low CTR. That's my thing.
I will give you this
2 years, and it did. I know this is hyperbolic, but it doesn't do it. It just does not. Whatever you are doing is not it. And people are like, yo, I guess kind of like even the face cam shit. Like, yo, you have to cut on your face cam. And I know it's a little bit different, but this is the thing to do, and I promise you'll do it. Like it'll
like, for example, the face cam thing, granted, again, different, but that's something where it's like, okay, I can't just be the other motherfucker that's on YouTube with my camera. Like at some point it was the meta. I was like, I bet, put my big boy pants on, turn the camera. But simultaneously, I didn't have to just sit there and like mirror the exact streaming style and stuff like that. Or I'll even fuck hypotheticals. I'll name a very, very, very specific situation. Shout out to Tev, man. I did the Family Guy drinking game before him, but I had a thumbnail that he apparently had in the queue. He apparently made this thumbnail before I dropped the video. So he was on some shit where he texted me. He was like, yo, are you on my Discord? I was like, no. He was like, yo, you know I rock with you, but like, you can't take the direct thumbnail from me, bro. I was like, what are you talking about? and he was like, yo, this is my thumbnail right here. We got damn near the same shit. I was like, nigga, I just searched Family Guy, Peter Griffin drinking, and click PNG. so we had a laugh about it, and he still dropped what he did or whatever. In that context, yeah. He been made his. I dropped mine. He ain't give a fuck. It is what it is. That was his niche anyway. I was pulling like 2-3K, whatever. But on a different timeline, let's say I drop mine first. Tevin doesn't know me, doesn't hit me up, and on top of that, he 1,000,000% waits a calendar year to do that. I'd feel away. I'd 100% would feel away if someone had my exact thumbnail, title, and it's damn well if I click the rules and they have the 5 same rules that I had. Oh, I'm 100% feeling away. 100%.
Last thing that I gotta ask, I guess, especially like video essayist content or commentary channels. I can use my channel as an example. We do it often on the pod too, for me to say it. But how do y'all feel about us putting whole ass original pieces of content in the videos, not crediting anybody, and just letting it rock? Is that not a form of plagiarism to y'all's classification?
To me, no. I'm definitely when it comes to like fair use and stuff like that. I mean, obviously I do reaction content, but even a step further than that, if we're talking like ESPN clips and something, respectfully, hell no. Another YouTuber I was waiting to drop, like, for example, like Totally Not Mark, his whole channel got gulagged because technically, if you had to make the argument and they were being obtuse, which is why they lost the whole debacle, Toei was basically clapping Mark's entire channel because he had essentially the anime on the screen. It wasn't a reaction or no shit. It was just, you speed it up. You have your little edits around the shit. Like, it's a typical movie reaction, not movie reaction, movie review or anything like that. But like, because Captain America or Luffy or Goku or whatever was on the screen, Toei started like instantly Thanos snapping his content off of there. And I remember vividly for like a year him battling that shit, and everybody was like, bro, this is like on all accounts textbook definition of fair use or anything like that. And I don't think
I'm not asking about fair use. I'm asking about plagiarism. It's two different things.
Yeah, I don't think so. So essentially, if you play a clip of ESPN and then we talk about said clip, I don't think that's plagiarism. I think plagiarism is to sit here and either all of us then put on a suit after you play said clip and mock Stephen A, mock Shannon Sharp, mock not Joy, fuck Molly, and just sit there and be literally Timu first take. Or if we played the clip, then moved on to an entirely different subject because the clip was the content, then I think that's plagiarism.
If that is plagiarism by textbook definition, then I'm pro plagiarism. That's just
that's plagiarism. Like, playing the clip is plagiarism. Like, I might say playing the clip itself is plagiarism. If we play music on here, technically plagiarism. Like,
if we're trying to be technical, yes, all of those words. I am pro plagiarism.
If we're being that guy, if we're being that guy, lowercase w at best, I'm not necessarily talking that. I'm talking of stealing. I'm talking like again the intent behind these things.
Like story mode gaming channel.
Story mode, yeah, like that, like type shit. Like, okay, I played The Walking Dead. If motherfucking who does Walking Dead, or if I played Naruto Storm and CC2 came out there looking for my head because hey, you got the story on the screen. All right, bro. like everyone, like
they would be wrong for that.
It's on some shit like, how is that literally not fair use? Because I am playing the video game.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, hey, comment up. You know, the internet got e-lawyers all out there. I feel like either it's me, either it's the both of you, either it's all of us. Feel like something is definitely not being understood on a literal account here.
Oh no,
said, I'm not being literal, but that almost screams fair use. But maybe
no. There's no misunderstanding. You with us because I'm pro stealing. That's what it sounds like.
I don't
disagree too. Hey, I'm pro plagiarism. That's what it is.
I think that's textbook fair use, but maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe y'all don't know what plagiarism is. Maybe y'all do.
No. Fair use is a YouTube term. That is not legal bargain. That if you go, but I'm saying, but plagiarism, like outright, even with fair use, even with it being, it's still plagiarism.
I think this might be the best way to describe it. I am pro plagiarism as long as it's used in a fair use way. Is that the right way to put it?
Yeah.
You just like stealing. You are.
All right, Robin Hood, I guess.
It's the same. It's the same
95 degrees.
It's the same way that you used to. And I think that there's acceptable uses of it for your own personal self. Because this is crazy. Cardiac. What's it called? I think that people do their own acceptable version of quote unquote stealing content without crediting it, et cetera, et cetera. Because for years, like, fuck it, it's the NBA content. I'm just gonna take that shit and put it on here as long as I chop it up well enough without giving any sort of crediting. And if it falls under fair use, then you think that it's okay. And I think a lot of people believe that, but ethically speaking.
Fair use is a term, so I got gaslit. So this is what I'm talking about. Like,
fair use is an actual legal term.
So I just got gaslit. I thought I knew. Then nigga said I was wrong. I'm just gonna Google it. But
wait, because I've been talking. I've been
fair use.
He got gaslit by me. I said it wasn't an actual legal term, and I guess I was wrong.
Yes, fair use is a legal doctrine.
I said bargain. I meant to say legal jargon, but.
And that's why I keep saying plagiarism, because plagiarism is technically stealing. That's why I keep coming back to the words plagiarism. I like using the words fair use, and I'm not even worried about that, because even with using something fair, we can use 15 seconds of a Drake song right now. Drake is little. We use 15 seconds of a Boss Man D-Lo song right now. And nothing.
Perfect example. If you sat there, walked around and sued every person who is on Instagram who recorded themselves at a party singing "Not Like Us" because your name was Kendrick Lamar. Okay, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, well, that's my song and it's plagiarism.
But I'm not talking about plagiarism. I'm not plagiarism. I'm not talking about fair use. I'm not talking about copyright, all that. I'm talking about if somebody uses somebody else's content without crediting them,
Yes, I am pro technical stealing. Just depends on how you steal the content and use it once you actually
He's
get it.
pro technical breaking rules, man. Type shit.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
we next, man.
We
Once
post them
again,
as
I
long
am
as you
pro
give it to the poor.
plagiarism
Now
as long as you use it in fair
we
use.
have literally
But,
gone
okay.
to the 279th degree at this point. Like,
No, and that's what
out of
everybody
all
as a
the-
content creator has different things. Even Cardiac, you don't need a citation page. Nobody said you need a citation page in order to escape it. Niggas just don't acknowledge the fact that they got the content from somewhere else.